Dear students, this is part 2 class of dual nature of radiation and matter. In last class, we studied about work function, electron emission and its types. Okay. In this class, let us study photoelectric effect. This effect was discovered by Heinrich Hertz. Okay. So photoelectric effect is phenomenon of photoelectric emission. When light of suitable frequency hits the metal surface, free electrons from that metal surface gets emitted, and this process of electron emission from metal surface due to light is called photoelectric effect. Okay, right? Here the emitted electrons are called as photoelectrons, and current produced due to flow of these photoelectrons is called photocurrent. Next topic is Hertz observation. Before discussing this topic, remember these terms. Okay? Here cathode is known as emitter because which emits free electrons when radiation fall on it. Okay? Similar way, the anode is known as collector or detector because which detects or collects free electrons were emitted by the cathode. Okay? Here the Hertz observation as follows, that is, during his experiment on production of electromagnetic waves, he observed that high voltage spark across the detector when emitter is illuminated by ultraviolet radiation from arc lamp. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? Here, when ultraviolet radiation falls on metal surface, then free electrons absorb enough energy from the radiation and will escape from the metal surface. Means that the high voltage spark across the cathode or detector is due to what? It is the emission of free electrons. Okay, right. Next topic is a Helmholtz and Lenard observation. Here Helmholtz and Lenard studied photoelectric effect in detail. Okay, here the first observation is similar to the Hertz observation. Okay, that is, when ultraviolet radiation fall on emitter plate, then negatively charged particles, means electrons, are emitted from it, and these are attracted towards collector plate kept at positive potential, and this results current in the external circuit. Okay, so this is the first observation. Here when ultraviolet radiation is stopped, then current flow also stopped, because for photoelectric emission suitable frequency of radiation is required. Okay, so here when radiation falls on a metal is stopped, no free electrons were emitted, so no current flow in the circuit. Okay, so this is the meaning of first observation. Next, second observation is when negatively charged zinc plate connected to an electroscope, then it lost its charge exposed to the ultraviolet radiation. Okay, so what it means? So we know metal is electrically neutral, that is uncharged metal. If you consider the uncharged metal, that is electrically neutral. So electrically neutral means what? It contains equal positive charge and equal negative charge. Here the zinc plate is negatively charged, means here the extra negative charges are added to it, or that metal contains excess of negative charge. Okay, so in this case, when radiation fall on negatively charged zinc plate, then the excess negative charge lost in the form of free electrons. Hence, zinc plate becomes neutral, electrically neutral, or it lost its charge, so it becomes electrically neutral, or so it may said that it is, so it becomes uncharged. Okay, it becomes uncharged. Next, suppose the uncharged zinc plate is placed in the electroscope, so then it becomes what? Positively charged when exposed to the ultraviolet light. So here what happens? Here also the uncharged means what? It contains equal positive charge and equal negative charge. When such a metal plate is exposed to ultraviolet radiation, then negative charge is lost in the form of free electrons. Hence, that zinc plate left with only positive charge. Hence, that uncharged zinc plate becomes positively charged when exposed to ultraviolet light. Got it? Okay. Next, the third observation is when ultraviolet radiation fall on the emitter plate. Okay, no electrons were emitted when frequency of radiation is smaller than minimum value. Okay, that minimum value is called as threshold value. Okay, here if suppose the frequency of incident radiation is smaller than this threshold value or threshold frequency, then no photoelectric emission takes place. Hence, for emission of an electron, the frequency of radiation must be greater than the threshold frequency. Okay, this is the third observation. These three are the observations of photoelectric effect predicted by Helmholtz and Leonard. Okay, so then here what do you mean by threshold frequency? Okay, here this threshold frequency is denoted by nu naught. Okay, and it can be defined as it is what? Minimum frequency of incident radiation required for photoelectric emission. Okay, right, and it is measured in terms of hertz. Next, photosensitive material. So these are the materials which exhibit photoelectric effect when light or radiation fall on it. Okay, such materials are called as photosensitive material. Okay, right. Here generally photosensitive material are metals, right? So metals such as zinc, manganese and cadmium are respond to only ultraviolet radiation. Means these metal do not show photoelectric effect when the radiation apart from ultraviolet is fall on it. Okay, right. For alkali metals such as lithium, sodium, potassium, cesium and rubidium are respond to both visible and ultraviolet radiation. Means these alkali metals exhibit photoelectric effect for both radiation, that is visible, and ultraviolet radiation. Next topic is experimental study of photoelectric effect. Circuit diagram or the experimental setup is as shown in diagram. Okay, so in this diagram, T is evacuated glass or quartz tube enclosing photosensitive cathode C and the metallic anode A. Okay, Next, the monochromatic light from source S passes through the transparent window W, falls on cathode. Okay. Next, this cathode and anode are connected to battery. The polarity of these two plates can be reversed by using commutator key K. Okay. Generally, the anode can be maintained at positive or negative potential with respect to cathode. Okay. Here, when anode is at positive potential, means what? Here, the positive terminal of the battery is connected to anode and the negative terminal of the battery is connected to cathode. Then we will say the anode is at positive potential with respect to cathode. Then the electrons are emitted by the cathode and are attracted towards anode. Okay. Here the free electrons are negatively charged and the anode is at positive potential. So those free electrons are attracted towards the anode. So this causes photocurrent in the circuit which is measured by microammeter. Okay. Next, the potential difference between cathode and anode is measured by voltmeter V. Here potential difference means voltage. Okay. So using this experimental arrangement, we can study the variation of photocurrent with first one, the intensity of radiation, second one with frequency of incident radiation, and third one is potential difference between anode and cathode. Okay. So let us discuss each case one by one. The first case is effect of intensity of light on photocurrent. Okay. Here, as you know, so intensity means what? It is the brightness. Okay. As you know, so if you said to be the less intense light means what? It appears to be dim. Similar way, the light is said to be highly intense, then it will be bright light. Okay. So that is the meaning of intensity. Here, to study the effect of intensity of radiation on photocurrent, remaining two factors kept constant. So what are those? Frequency of incident radiation and potential difference between cathode and anode are kept fixed. Okay. So here how intensity of radiation is varied? Here by adjusting the distance between cathode and the source of light, okay, the intensity of the light can be varied. Here the distance between cathode and source is small, then the intensity will be more. Okay. So if suppose the distance between cathode and the source of light is large, then intensity will be less. It is according to the inverse square law. Okay. So here the intensity is inversely proportional to square of distance between source of light and the object. Okay. Right. Next, here the procedure is as follows. Here first the anode is maintained at positive potential with respect to cathode. Okay. Next, the radiation of suitable frequency greater than threshold value is made to fall on cathode. Okay. As you know, for photoelectric emission, frequency must be greater than threshold value. Okay. So as a result, photocurrent flows in the circuit. Here, keeping the frequency and potential fixed, the intensity of light is varied and resulting photocurrent is measured in each time. measured in each time. Then it is found that photocurrent increases linearly with the intensity of light. Okay. So photocurrent means number of photoelectrons emitted per unit time. Okay. Number of photoelectrons emitted per unit time. So is directly proportional to intensity of light. Here the graph nature as follows. So in graph, intensity is independent variable, so it is taken along x-axis, and photocurrent is depends on intensity, hence it is taken along y-axis. Hence we get to the plot as straight line passes through the origin, which indicates photocurrent is directly proportional to intensity of incident radiation. Okay.